Hey, a little walk and talk about the opportunity that Christians have to make an impact in Hollywood. What am I talking about? Well, with the Great Purge of 2017, with the fall of Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey and Brett Ratner and Bryan Singer and all the directors, all the studio heads, like there's a long list now, Matt Lauer and politicians aside, people in the entertainment industry who hold positions of greenlighting authority. They can say yes or no to a certain project. They're goners, and they're not coming back anytime soon. I can tell you that much. In the meantime, there's this great door that's opened up. A huge void is being created by so many people in leadership whose careers have tanked because of sexual misconduct and possible sexual crimes. Now, those positions are not going to be filled with silence. They're not going to be, just void. Nature abhors a vacuum. They're going to be filled with like-minded people like them, people who maybe haven't gotten caught yet in their deeds. Or it could be filled with writers who have a Christian worldview, people who want to bring back storytelling from the era that we call the Golden Age, from the 30s until about 1965. People like Frank Capra and let's see, there's a long list. George Cukor, George Stevens, Howard, what's his name? Howard Hawks, John Ford, Alfred Hitchcock, Frank Capra. That era. They didn't show a lot of gore and sex and ultra-violence. Because of the little thing called the production code, later called the Breen Office, they had to use their imagination. They had to make the audience connect A to B. They didn't shove it in your face. You had to work a little bit to get the point of the story. And that's why film students to this day study the canon from that era. They don't watch films made last week. They watch the films that have stood the test of time. So it's frustrating to me as a communicator and as a practicing Catholic that high net worth people who could invest in projects that can touch hearts and minds around the world, they just don't. They love movies and they go to them and they talk about them and they recognize on some level that pop culture is all the way upstream from arguments about abortion and gay marriage and education and voting and parties and politics, period. I was talking with a good friend of mine who's an actor, has a large family. I won't out him at this point, but he's, you'd know who he is. He's been in A-list Academy Award winning films. We were talking just this morning about this frustration that people who recognize that films are influential and movie lines become part of the vocabulary, the vernacular, if you will, of our culture. But unless it's something specifically, explicitly pro-life, like an ultrasound machine or some, on-the-nose pro-life venture or a wing on a hospital. And by the way, I'm for all those things. I'm 100% pro-life. I'm an anti-abortion abolitionist, so I don't have any problem with that. I think it's fantastic. But it's only one front in the culture war. We can't ignore the massive impact that the entertainment industry has on shaping hearts and minds and attitudes. Billions and billions, with a B, every year gets spent from the other side, from the culture of death, to infiltrate TV show scripts, movie storylines, casting choices. The premise of all this programming is determined by people, at least up until this point, like the folks whose careers are now dust. So this is a massive opportunity. So if you want to contact me below, maybe an investment opportunity, maybe it's something you're interested in, maybe not. I am working on a movie script. I think that Christian films have their place. I'm not against them, I'm for them. I think their tribe should increase and multiply. We need more of them. So this is not, any kind of snobbish film student complaint at all. It's just a common sense observation that films that are made by Christians for Christians don't move the needle outside that grassroots church community marketing niche. They don't. If you look at the top 10 films that practicing Christians love to see, they're usually not films with explicit faith messages in them. They're stories that resonate in every country and work in every language, because they tap into our deep need for a hero who's willing to give up an enormous amount to gain a great good. That's the heart of every story. And so it's just frustrating. But the hope is that these fallen careers will represent a renaissance in Hollywood, where people with worldviews that are either Christian or at least not hardcore secularists can get in the game and start influencing hearts and minds. We all know what happens, but who is going to pony up? Who is going to support it? Are you? It's easy to make a placard. It's easy to shake your fist. It's easy to sign a petition, which usually, by the way, just helps the person grow their own email list. So if you want to do more, keep in touch. Let me know. The website is patrickcoffin.media. You can find me there. I do have a podcast, The Patrick Coffin Show, which I invite you to check out on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. You can reach me there. So in the meantime, be a saint. What else is there? That's the word. Keep in good touch. Hope you enjoy the show. Subscribe, rate, and review. Okay? Till then, peace and out.